Good afternoon. So I sold my last company, Soltoro, to Agnico Eagle, and they spun out Palamina. Palamina is one of a few pure gold exploration companies active in Peru. Peru has not seen a lot of junior exploration movement. I'm going to talk to you today about a modern day gold rush that's underway and how we're going to participate in it. So in early 2017, I went to Peru, recognized the opportunity of the Puno Orogenic Gold Belt, staked 50,000 hectares in the belt. A lot of the ground had been held previously by majors, Newmont, Minera IRL, sorry. We've since, I acquired the Minera IRL exploration team. They defined 1 million ounces in the belt. We've now started our systematic exploration the last 2 years, including a heli-borne survey that we did. We're the first to fly the belt. And there are 2 projects that we're bringing forward towards drilling. One is our main flagship project, Coasa, and then I sold another project to Helio Resources. We're the operator, which reduces our cost, but we're also expected to drill that. We've got 43 101s. We have 10 million shares of Helio. There's 33 million shares out. In terms of the management and directors, it's a younger group of guys. It includes investment bankers, engineers, geologists. This group has got, there's I think 4 orogenic projects in this group. With Phil Walford and Jose there's about 800,000 meters of drilling that's been completed by this group. The statistic there of 50 million raised and 7 million defined in the last 2 years doesn't include a Cisco, but we're all, the focus is on finding 1 to 3 million ounce deposits. The key person here is actually Yuri Valdivieso. He was responsible for doing all the groundwork at Oyachea, which is Courtney Chamberlain's old company. He spent 15 years in the belt with the team, and they're the key to staking the ground that we have and getting involved in this belt. This slide basically shows we still have a pretty tight float. I myself am just under $1 million invested. Ernesto Echevarria, he's one of our key shareholders. We carried him over. He's equally, he's got about 17%. But the key here is there's about 62% that's held by directors and high net worth individuals. I like to say I like to sell ice cream when it's hot out. It's been pretty cold. So we haven't brought in a lot of funds. We haven't done a lot of marketing. We've had our heads down working in the belt. We're now starting to move forward as we move towards drilling because there's very little reception currently for grassroots projects. Again, a very tight float. So this is really what got me interested in the belt. There's 100,000 informals mining today in Madre de Dios and La Rinconada, about 35,000 in each. For those of you who aren't aware, Madre de Dios is 700 square kilometers of alluvials in the basin below this Puno Orogenic Gold Belt. Patas, which is in the north, has seen quite a bit of drilling. There's about 40 million ounces that's been defined there. In the south, there's been a lot, you're seeing a lot of junior companies in the south at this point, but between Madre de Dios and La Rinconada is this orogenic belt. La Rinconada is at 5,300 meters. They've been mining it for about 15 years. They get to carry 1 bag of gold out every month. That waste rock pile, the women on top, it runs about 5 grams. They've moved to glacier. So it's really quite, it's the highest town in the world, and all these people, all they're looking for is visible gold. So it gives you an idea of the potential of, orogenic belts go down 1 kilometer to 5 kilometers in terms of mineralization. So again, tectonic plate stuff. So this is just showing the orogenic belt. It's 175 by 75 kilometers wide. What's driving it all is the new intercontinental highway that goes from Juliaca through Gaban there. That's the project we sold to Helio. And between Madre de Dios, the alluvials, and the glacial gold is where most of the ground we staked is. Newmont had 50,000 hectares in the belt. Ryan, which was a Barrick-run company, or by one of the former Barrick guys, they had a big position. We bought out their database, and then we have all the knowledge that our team has had together. So we're really focused on moving it forward. Again, the artisanal miners are mining visible gold at surface. They can go down maybe 40 meters. In one instance, they're down 600 meters. I like to call it shadow of headframe exploration without the headframe. Fresnillo is our main competition. They staked 75,000 hectares in the belt behind us. And then there's Horizonte, which is a a Peruvian family that have Ntuca in production, but La Rinconada and Ntuca are in production on the bottom end there. The other thing to note here is the 3 hydroelectric dams that have been built along the Intercontinental Highway. So what's driving everything is this highway. So Madre de Dios since 2008 has expanded rapidly. This is kind of the main slide in terms of what I like most about what we're doing. So Oyache is where our guys were active and drilled 80 kilometers. There's 3 significant east-west mesothermal jog zones. We're looking for the traps in those zones. East jog zone has significant 1.5 million ounce deposits that have been defined. They're not necessarily economic. I'm just looking at it from what Mother Nature gave us. In the bottom right there, you see Rinconada, the big triangle. We think it's about 10 million ounces based on for how long it's been going and how many people have been mining there. And then you've got Crucera and Oyachea as well, but our Coasa sits right in the center of all that. It's about 70 kilometers in either direction, and again, we think it's a big gold camp. So this is just a blow up of the 22 kilometer shear zone. We've got 9 zones that we've prioritized. The Vota and Cayos zones are the 2 zones that we want to be drilling. We've flown it. I'm not putting out the data because we're trying to acquire an internal claim, but you can see the different shear zones there, and they really are quite substantive. And really what we're trying to do now is just get our permitting in place. We've been at it for 14 months. The big defeat in Peru right now is it's very difficult to get permitting. It takes a long time. There's a lot of paperwork, but it's also what provided us the opportunity. And I don't think any of this ground would have been available. Just of note, none of the properties I'm showing you have been drilled. And I feel very strongly that this is one of the underexplored orogenic belts on the planet. This is, to give you some idea, our chip sampling we've had as high as 620 grams. As we walk the shear zone southwest of the intrusive, we've got this is from 6 campaigns. I'm showing the high grade here, just to give you some idea of this zone is 600 by 800 meters. This is just the channel sampling that we've done. We're seeing up to 1 meter of 123 grams and 2 meters of 13 grams. But really what we're trying to show is that it's filled out. When we were doing our chip sampling, we just realized the mineralization was below the river, and we channel sampled. So this is the area that we're planning our 2,500 meter drill program. We're very close to getting our DIA. We've got 8 observations to reply to. I think we'll have it by Christmas. This is a blow up of the new Cayos zone to the southwest. You can see the camp that we're building for the geologists and the drillers. We're in the process of putting a road in. But again, everything in yellow there is the values we had from our last campaign where we're just chip sampling to see what sort of values we can get. Again, you'll see a 75 gram per ton assay, 1 meter of 22 grams in the Veta zone, but there's a 67 gram. There's a lot of high grade. So again, right now we're vein counting, and I think we'll hit on our program. It's whether we get continuity or not. So this is one I'm pretty excited about. We've had 3 majors visit the property. The majors want a joint venture. It doesn't add a lot of value for the juniors. I feel we've put, again, just under $2 million into this. We're going to go drilling next year on it. This is the Gaban play I sold to Helio in blue. You can see the watershed of the San Gaban and Inambari rivers going down to the alluvials. That's just a portion of the 700 square kilometers. But what's key here is since 2008, you can see the Intercontinental Highway, the hydroelectric dam. Fortunately, they was washing out a portion of the road, and they put bridges across to our property, and then our Helio's property. And then there's a picture there where it says the Yanamaya River. There's at least 10 sets of guys bending over in the streams picking out coarse gold. And in that area, that white rectangle, that's an elevated 12 to 800 meter area. Sangaban town is at 500. We can get there in about 4 hours walking, and we're putting a road in, or Helio is. But the key here is that the Pikatiri zone has visible gold in it, and it's the main target. So you ask me, well, why do you think this is the hard rock source? After I sold the project to Helio, I kept the other end of the trend, the quarry area to the right of the screen there. The yellow is Fresnillo. Again, Fresnillo's got 75,000 hectares. On a lot of our other projects, they've come and staked around us. But that 1 to 3 ounce Muchamayo rock there that you're looking at is in a 3 kilometer mineralized zone. And again, there's 1,200 informals working there. So we feel that area has a 10 million ounce potential, and we all hold the down dip in the east and west extensions. So just to wrap up, Peru's gone from 14th to 10th. We're the leading explorationists in this belt. We've got a team that's very experienced in the belt. We've put a lot of money in the ground, and we're set to drill 2 projects. I like to call it shadow of headframe exploration without the headframe. There's not enough junior explorers looking for these things, but this is what the majors want. And this is just a slide showing our team, the orogenic system that goes through our main property, and the 3 informal mine rocks, Rinconada, Peñón de Oro, and Muchamayo, that are being mined by the informals, we think are anywhere from 2 to 10 million ounces. Thank you.